Hello, I'm Maurice Bernard. This is my official YouTube channel. I'll be keeping you updated with the latest news, so please subscribe to my channel. What strikes me most is how Willow herself keeps repeating that same heartfelt line about doing anything for her children. I've heard her say it so many times that it almost feels like a mantra, and for a while I truly believed it came from a place of pure maternal love. Yet the more I watch, the more I realize that those words have become her shield, the justification she clings to while crossing lines that most of us never thought she would even approach. She has gone from the girl next door to a woman willing to manipulate, scheme, and even hurt the people closest to her if it means keeping Wiley and Amelia in her life. I still remember the days when she was fighting so hard to be the best mother possible after all the uncertainty surrounding her own past. Now those same protective instincts have twisted into something that feels almost unrecognizable. It's heartbreaking in a way, but it also makes for incredibly compelling television. And let's be honest about what she's actually done. Willow has crossed into territory that once would have been reserved for the show's most notorious villains. She has stalked and frightened children, driven Sasha out of town in what felt like a calculated power play, and then, most disturbingly of all, she took little Daisy, Michael's youngest, and ran with her. That moment still sends a chill through me every time I replay it in my mind. On top of that, she shot Drew not once but twice and tried to pin the blame squarely on Michael. When that didn't work, she went even further by drugging him to keep him paralyzed and silent. These aren't small mistakes or momentary lapses in judgment. These are deliberate, calculated acts that have left real damage in their wake. I keep asking myself how the same woman who once comforted patients at the hospital and fought so bravely for her own family could reach this point, and every time the answer comes back the same: desperation mixed with a growing sense of entitlement. She truly believes the ends justify the means, and that belief has carried her straight into villain territory. What makes it all even more layered is the way Nina has responded to her daughter's spiral. Nina, who has already endured more pain than any mother should ever have to face, has chosen to stand by Willow no matter what. I understand it on one level. After losing Nell the way she did, discovering the truth only after her first daughter was already gone, Nina is desperate not to repeat that tragedy. She sees Willow as her second chance, her last real opportunity to be the mother she always wanted to be. So she overlooks the stalking, the kidnapping, the shooting, and the blackmail, even when Willow turned on her own mother and tried to extort her. Nina simply refuses to see the full picture, and I find myself torn between sympathy for her and frustration that she isn't holding Willow accountable. It's as if Nina is so afraid of losing another child that she's willing to ignore the warning signs that are flashing brighter every day. Now the show is taking things to an even higher level of intensity, and I believe we're heading toward a reckoning that has been building for a very long time. Word from the latest updates is that Willow's ending has essentially been confirmed behind the scenes, and it's going to be a painful one. The story is proving that her enemies, the very people she has hurt and manipulated, are the ones now shaping the narrative. There's a major adjustment coming, one that will finally bring many of her hidden crimes into the light. A full-blown trial for Willow is on the horizon, and from what I can gather, it's going to be explosive. The writers are preparing to reveal layers of her wrongdoing that even longtime viewers like me didn't fully anticipate. This isn't going to be a quick courtroom scene wrapped up in a week. It feels like the kind of extended high-stakes arc that General Hospital does so well. where every piece of evidence, every witness, and every buried secret will be laid bare for the town of Port Charles to see. I keep thinking about how this mirrors what happened with Nell, and the parallel is impossible to ignore. Nell was also a woman who started with pain and trauma and let it twist her into someone capable of terrible things. She too believed she was fighting for what was hers, and in the end, that belief destroyed her. The show gave Nell a dramatic final exit that left viewers stunned, and I suspect Willow is being steered toward a similarly heartbreaking conclusion. It's not that the writers are repeating themselves exactly. They're showing us how history can echo when someone refuses to learn from the past. Willow is walking the same dangerous path, and the new storylines are making it crystal clear that the consequences will be just as severe. This development has created a fresh wave of tension that has me checking my DVR every single afternoon. There's an almost haunting quality to it, a sense that we're watching a character we once rooted for slowly realize she has painted herself into a corner with no easy way out. Yet, even as the darkness gathers, I find myself strangely hopeful for the kind of powerful storytelling that only General Hospital can deliver. The trial itself promises to be must-see television, full of surprise witnesses, shocking revelations, and emotional confrontations that will have the whole town talking. I can already picture Michael standing in that courtroom, torn between his love for his children and the damage Willow has caused. I imagine Drew finally getting the chance to tell his side of the story, and Nina having to confront the reality she's been avoiding for so long. These are the moments that remind me why I've stayed loyal to this show for 4 decades. It's not just about the drama, it's about watching characters we've grown to care about face the consequences of their choices in ways that feel raw and real. What fascinates me most is how the writers have managed to make Willow both sympathetic and terrifying at the same time. She isn't a cartoonish villain cackling in the shadows. She's a mother who genuinely believes she's protecting her family, even as her methods become more and more unhinged. That complexity keeps me invested. I find myself wondering, late at night, when the episode ends, whether there's still a chance for redemption. Could a long, honest conversation with Nina finally break through? Might the love she once felt for Michael resurface and pull her back from the edge? Or has she gone too far for any real forgiveness? The show hasn't given us the answers yet, but the fact that they're building toward this confirmed ending tells me they're not going to take the easy route. They're going to make it hurt, and they're going to make it matter. And that, more than anything, is what keeps General Hospital feeling so alive and relevant, even after all these years. The stakes feel personal. The danger feels immediate. Every new spoiler, every leaked script detail, every hint from the cast about what's coming next adds another layer of excitement that I haven't felt this strongly since some of the show's classic rivalries in the 80s and 90s. Willow's story is proving that the soap opera formula still works beautifully when it's handled with care. It shows us that no character is ever truly safe, that choices have consequences, and that even the gentlest soul can lose their way if they're not careful. I'm counting down the days until the trial begins in earnest. I want to see how the town reacts when all of Willow's secrets spill out. I want to watch Nina's face as she realizes just how deep the deception has run. And yes, part of me is bracing for that painful final chapter that seems to be written in the stars for Willow, because I know the writers will handle it with the same emotional honesty they've shown throughout her entire arc. It won't be easy to watch, but it will be unforgettable. That's the magic of this show. It pulls you in, makes you care so deeply that you feel every twist in your bones, and then rewards your loyalty with stories that stay with you long after the credits roll. So here I am, an old fan who still gets butterflies in her stomach every time the opening theme plays, eagerly waiting to see how this chapter closes. Willow's journey has taken her from light to shadow, from heroine to someone far more complicated, and the road ahead looks both treacherous and thrilling. I wouldn't miss a single episode for the world. If you've been watching as long as I have, you know exactly what I mean. The heat is on, the tension is rising, and the best is yet to come. I'll be right here, remote in hand, ready for whatever General Hospital throws at us next. This new direction truly demonstrates how the show is making bold adjustments to deepen the emotional stakes. Willow's transformation from the sweet, innocent nurse we once knew into a woman capable of kidnapping, shooting, and blackmailing has been gradual but unmistakable. Her constant insistence that she's only doing everything for her children now feels more like a desperate justification than genuine maternal love. And as her enemies close in and the upcoming trial looms, it becomes clearer every day that the consequences are going to be severe. The way the story is unfolding suggests the writers want us to see the frightening similarities between mother and daughter, both driven by pain, both willing to break the rules, and both ultimately heading toward a reckoning that could destroy them. I keep asking myself how Nina will survive if history repeats itself so cruelly, and the answer is never easy. She has already carried the weight of one lost daughter. Another loss like that would break even the strongest soul. Yet the show is handling it with such care and realism that I find myself completely invested, feeling every bit of Nina's quiet desperation right alongside her. But here's what has me completely hooked and a little stunned. Rumors and hints about a possible return of Nell are starting to circulate, and if that actually happens, this story is going to explode in the most insane way possible. Can you even imagine Nell coming back after everything we thought was final? It would turn Nina's world upside down all over again and force her to confront not one but two daughters who have walked dangerously close to the edge. This kind of twist would be one of the craziest adjustments the show has pulled off in years. It would reframe everything we thought we knew about Nina's losses and give the writers an opportunity to explore forgiveness, redemption, and the complicated bonds of family in ways we've never seen before. I remember how Nell's exit left us all reeling, and the thought of her stepping back into Port Charles now, perhaps at the very moment Willow's own life is hanging in the balance, sends a thrill through me. It's the kind of bold, unexpected move that reminds me why I've stayed loyal to General Hospital for over 4 decades. The writers aren't afraid to shake things up, and this feels like one of those game-changing decisions that could keep the drama burning brightly for months. The more I reflect on it, the more I realize these adjustments aren't random. They're carefully crafted to show us that the past never truly stays buried in a town like Port Charles. Nina's story has always been about second chances and the heavy price of love, and now it's reaching a boiling point. Losing Willow the way she lost Nell would be devastating enough on its own, but layering in the possibility of Nell's return adds a layer of pure soap opera electricity that has me counting the hours until the next episode airs. Will Nina finally get the family she's dreamed of, or will the pain of the past swallow her whole once more? The tension is building week after week, and I find myself talking about it with my longtime viewing friends, speculating late into the afternoon about what might come next. One thing is certain, the story of Nina and her daughters is far from over, and it's going to be one wild, unforgettable ride. Thank you for watching my video. I will regularly update you with the latest news about the drama General Hospital, so please stay tuned.